Good morning, Shegun Fatuma. Mofelola, good morning. Latia, good morning. Adeleke, Oluwafumelayo, good morning. Obio Jimadu, good morning. Shigo Nwafo, good morning. Okay, Udo, good morning. Omonike, Rochelle White, good morning. Goya Sharis, Timothy Jayeola, Konle Adenipekon, Mashu Esong, Mayowa, good morning. Deborah Cole, Jake Oke, Apostle Yemi, good morning. Margarita Cristova, Gius Hash, good morning. Mary Welsh, Louise Butler, Oluseyi, good morning everyone. Vovero Otomewo, good morning. Lola Shirunke, Albertine, Mayowa, good morning. Deborah Ko Tokumbo Talks. Let's quickly go and share the link to this message, please, if you don't mind. If you look under your video, you'll see a button there. Let's use that button to go share the link for this message. So let's quickly go and share the link to the message. It's under your video. The share button is there. Once you finish sharing the video, we'll be ready to go. By the way, that's the only way you can get a copy of this message. You need to share it. Then it will come to your timeline. And then you can watch it again if you would like to, or share it with your friends. So let's quickly go and share the link. And we'll be ready to go. All right, nice to see all of you. This week we have been talking on how to become a hero to your child. How to become a hero to your child. And we keep on talking about that topic, but today is Friday, you know, it's taking another turn. It's taking another turn, and it's taking another direction. We're going from talking about the children to talking about the parents almost, because these value systems that we need to raise, we need to develop in our children, as we are discovering that a lot of us need this same value system in our lives first. So a lot of people are yet to develop the value system in themselves first. And before you could give those value systems to your children, it will make a lot of sense to first of all develop them in yourself. But since this week I'm talking about our children, I'm talking about developing value system in our children. Yeah, just know that I'm going to keep to that topic, but you could also use the truth to be, for yourself, for your own use, to benefit you. In a family, as we are raising our children, we must know that we either raise our children to be a bunch of body, just flesh, which I call biomass, biological mass, or we raise them up to be personalities. And that's what I've been talking about all week long. To raise up your children as personalities, you then need to have value systems, and you must raise them and give them a certain worldview. And the value system is the basis for which they operate in life. So now I want to talk about how do people who are raised with values take decisions, and on what basis do they behave the way they behave. And the people who did not have value system, On what basis do they believe? Do they behave? Why do they behave the way they behave? What informs their decisions? What informs the decision of the people who are raised without value systems that I call the biomass? And what informs the decision-making process of those who are raised with a certain worldview and value system, which I call personalities? So what would you say are the difference between these two groups of people? So number one, I've already mentioned some of these things yesterday, but I'm going to make them more concrete and more factual here. If you are raising up a child and you did not find the time to build into them value systems, and the only thing you have done is, oh, don't go there, don't go there, who did I tell? Come here, you know, I'm going to beat you, I will beat you now, I will beat you now. And just emotion, outburst of emotions and feelings, and that is not upbringing, that is not parenting. For you to actually successfully parent, not just parent right now so that they go out of your house and go to university or college, but for you to actually successfully parent them for life so that they will become a force to reckon with in their lives, and so that they will become a personality in life. I'm not talking of raising up children who will just add to the workforce. You know, they are not just going to add to the workforce of, you know, just working from morning till night and just serving Uncle Sam. Everybody can do that. Anybody can work because it's an instinctive thing. They live by instinct. Those people who are going to work because they need to survive, they only want to work because they want to survive. So everybody works, or most people work because they need to survive. That doesn't mean they are living. They're just making a living. They're just trying to survive. And when you are trying to make a living, you don't really live. So when you raise up biomass, the best they do is that they don't cause you trouble. They just go and, you know, and just go to work all their lives and go to work. But the worst is that it backfires on you, and they cause you so much problem that, you know, it's costing you more to give birth, that you have given birth to these children than if you had not given birth to them at all. And it's not just going to cost you, it's going to cost your whole family, and it's going to cost your whole country a lot of pain and sorrow, just because these people were not raised with value systems. Now, so who are these people that were not raised with value system? Number one, people that were not raised with value system, like that I call biomass. Biomass people live only out of their instincts. Their instincts. So what are instincts? Instincts are things that are, you know, okay. If you look at Genesis chapter 2, verse 7, it talks about God creating man. God created man according to his own image, and he made man out of the flesh, right? God made man out of the flesh, out of the sound, out of the ground, out of the sound. And when God made the man out of the sound, he breathed into him the breath of life. Now that breath of life that God breathed into the man, after the breath of life, or the life of God got into the man, something else happened to the man. The man discovered that it was Homo sapiens, and that means that there was the soul appeared into the man. So the man became living soul. Living soul. What does that word living soul mean? Living soul means that, so apart from the body, there was a very vital element that came into the body, into the life of the human, that makes him totally different from animal. Now, if there had not been that living soul, if it's just life, the spirit that comes into that body, without the appearance and the formation of the soul, of the living soul, of the soul, then the man would have been alive, but just alive in the body, in the flesh, making it alive just alive physically, alive as biomass, as animal. We will only have been living on the animalistic level of life. So man would have been living just like the animals live. How do the animals live? Animals live out of their body. They live out of their flesh. They live out of the physical reality that they exist. So what do animals have that men don't have? or what do men have that animals don't have? Animals have the body, and animals have life. You could say spirit if you want. So animals have life, not this, and they have life, which we could say is spirit, and they have body. Now, since life is just for them to be alive and operate, and to function. To just be alive. What are the elements that allows them to function on the earth? What allows animals to function? Since they did not have the second thing, the third thing that we have the soul, the living soul. So what is the difference when a man have living soul and animals don't get to it? That's the only thing that is missing with animals. So man has spirit, body, and then we have an additional thing, soul. Now animals have spirit, body, but there is no soul. So what difference does that make at the end of the day? The difference is that animals will be able to function. They will be able to, everything that is capable to be done in the flesh, they will be able to do it. And what are those instruments? What are the elements that were given to the animal to be able to function in the flesh like that? They are called instincts. So since animals don't have, they don't have the soul, they don't have the soul, it means they don't have intellect, they don't have the deep emotions and feelings in their, and they don't have the ability to be able to express themselves, to be able to talk, to be able to, they cannot function from the soul and from the wealth of our soul. They don't have, that we have. So it's because that, Homo sapiens aspect of it is missing. So the thinking faculty is what they don't have. The intellectual faculty, the thinking faculty, even though they have, so how do they function if they don't have that soul? They don't have that intellect, the intellectual and the thinking capacity. They have, and their own thinking faculty or functioning element that allows them to function is what is called instinct. So they are functioning right, instead of out of the mind, they are functioning rather from out of the body. So all they are functioning mainly. So for the animal, the weight of their existence comes out directly from the body. So most of the weight of the animal's operation is not unlike for the man, which comes from the mind of the man. For the animal is coming from the flesh, from the body. So the spirit and the body is interjecting and giving instructions. So it is more. Body is the body is the centrality of the functioning of the animals. Animals function mainly from the body. So what are those things called? How do we describe the functioning faculty of animals? The functioning faculty of animal is called instinct, stimulus, and instinct and instinct mainly. So they operate by stimulation, by instinct, and by reflexes. By reflexes, yes. So there are three things that the animals use to operate: instinct, reflexes, and stimulus. Instinct, reflexes, and stimulus. All these things are having to do mainly with the body. Now, what about man? But we too have body. So since we too have body, as having body as well, it means that we should have all these things. Yes, you are right. Because we too have body, that is why we too have instincts, we too have reflexes, and we too have stimulus. So we too have the things that allow animals to function. So when you study biology or some science, if all of us are called animal, even men, human beings are called animals as well. Why are we called animals? Because in the lowest level of functioning of human being, we are equal. We have the same thing. Both animals and people, we have the same elementary functioning or living requirement for the earth. So the most elementary, the most basic, and the most base level of life is called the animalistic level of life, or is called the animalistic level of survival or of living. So if we just live the same like the animals live, and we live from that level of instinct, reflexes, and stimulus, then it means that we are equal to animals. It means there is nothing better between us and animals, and there is no difference. So we become the same thing. We just live on the level of animals. But why are we different? Why is it that we have an additional element in us that the animals don't have? Why did God make us to have soul, to have intellect, to have the thinking faculty? It's because he wants us to rule over his creation and to rule over animals as well. So because God wants us to have rulership over the earth, to be like him and to function like him, he gave us a superior composition, and which is the composition of soul, body, and spirit. So now, what are the main, how does that function? How does that function in the real sense? So let's finish with the animals first. For animals, they behave, sometimes it's like they behave intelligently. They know how to do. For example, animals know when they are hungry, and they respond to hunger. And they know they even know how to get what to eat. They even know how to go after what they need. Why? Because their strongest reflex, their strongest desire and their strongest reality is getting to survive, is survival. Now, when a man or a human being remains on the level of carnal person, biomasses, carnal human, when a man lives only out of the reality of his flesh, when a man only lives not as Homo sapiens from his mind, when the central functioning decision-making organ of a man is not in his mind, is when the decision-making process of a man is not coming from his values, it's not coming from his thinking faculty, when he is just living the basic life, the base life of animal life, he is not totally different from animals at all. So he does the same thing like animals. So in the case of animals, their greatest instinct, their greatest desire, their greatest reality is survival. Most humans are just on that same basic level too. Most humans have not escaped that same level. Most humans that you see, they are still living on that same animal level. And this is not insulting. This is not an insult. We all have animal nature in us, and we have the animal part of us. But we are not supposed to live on that animal level alone. We are supposed to graduate. Okay, for example, children that are just 1 day old, 1 month old, 2 months old, 3 months old, all those children, or 1 year old even, they are functioning from that level. They are functioning from the basic and basis level of an animal. They are functioning from the basic human level. Even though they are human beings, you see the baby in your hand and you rejoice. Oh, my wife has given birth. Oh, we have a baby. Oh, you have a child that is 1 year old or 6 months old, but he's still living on the same instinct, basic level of an animal. So there is really no difference between that child and your dog. In fact, your dog sometimes might be more intellectually balanced, or might be more instinctively developed than that baby who is 6 months old or 3 months old. So now, we are not seeing that as an abuse or as an insult. I'm sorry that I'm using this kind of, for me, it sounds a little bit rude examples. But they are just for the sake of explanation and for the sake of clarity. And I hope, they will help us to get it better. But unfortunately, a lot of grown-up people who could be 50 years old, 40 years old, they don't know that they're human beings. They don't even know the difference between a human being and they are animal. They don't know the difference. They just know that they keep on growing because they are eating. Just like the same with animal. If you keep on feeding animal, it keep on expanding and growing as well. So human beings could keep on growing. They could keep on living, and they could live to be 30 years old, 40 years old, 50 years old, but still they have not become human. A lot of the people we see around us, they have not yet become human in their totality. Now, I know that the kind of thing I'm saying makes it look like scary. What are you saying? What do you mean people are not human? They are people, but they are not, let me say not human. Let me say personality. They are not personalities here. Yeah, that's a better word. They are humans, but they are biomasses. They are living from the lowest human level of understanding. They are only living from the low level, from the base level. So they don't really differ from children so much. Even though they differ from children, but not because they are living as human. They differ from children because they can talk, walk, they can work, they can go to work, they can get a job, they can marry, they can have children, but still they are not humans yet. I mean, they are not personalities yet. They are not fully humans yet. But because they are operating, what determines if you are fully human or not is, are you operating out of your flesh, out of your body, out of your low nature, out of your animalistic nature? Is that what is driving you? Is that what is driving your decision-making process? Is that what is driving your response in life? Is that what is determining what you do and who you are? Or it is your Homo sapiens that is determining it? Or are you on top of your decision, or you are being driven by your instincts, by your reflexes, or by the stimulus that are around you? Are you on top of your life? Are you the one that do you always understand what you do? Do you have explanation for every step of the way, for every single thing you do? So that means you are reasoning as be on top of the world. You are on top. You are in charge. You are human. You are Homo sapiens. You are operating out of the human faculty that the animal does not have. You are operating from your thinking faculty, from your mental faculty, from your intellectual ability, from your value system. That's why you must have those intellect must have something in it, and what it must have in it is the values, the vision, the purpose, and things that make you to take the right decisions and to be able to act. To be able to be on top of the world. But when your mind does not have the value systems, when your mind does not have the worldview, when you don't have the right information and systemized worldview and the way of looking at the world in your mind, there's no understanding. When you don't have an understanding, even though you are human, you are professional, you are a doctor, or you are a teacher, you finish university, you are an engineer, but you are just doing things they tell you to do. You're just a tool. You are just functioning. But to be a real human, you must be on top of your decisions all the time. You must be functioning and going to a particular direction. You must have a purpose in life. One of the main difference between a personality and a biomass is that personalities always live for something. They are not just because if biomasses, for example, they only live to survive. They only live because they find themselves living. They don't have any option. So they wake up in the morning, they see that they're already awake, they're already here, they are already awake, so they need to do something. So what do they need to do? Oh, they do what their father tells them, or their mother tells them, or their friends tell them, or they do what everybody other person do. Oh, people would go to work now. You are already 20 years old, just go get a job. Oh yeah, other people are getting a job, of course. 20 years old, I'm going to get a job. Oh no, you are already 6 years old, you have to go to school. 6 years old is age to go to school. Okay, they dress you up, take you to school. Oh, after school you go to university. Oh yeah, why? So that you get a good job. Oh yeah, okay. You go to university to get a job, to get a good admission. After that, we go and get a job. So you are living because you are living, because you found yourself here. You are functioning and doing everything you know, like the crowd. You are just following the crowd. So when the crowd, majority of the crowd say this is good, this is the way to live, you say, oh yeah, I think so. You convince me. You convince me. Yeah, that's the way to live. And if you go to another place and you know they said, no, why should you live like that? This is you make it here, you get this here, you get this here. This one will give you more profit. That will give you more. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. You're right. Okay, yeah, you are right. So that is how 97% of the world lives. At least 80% of the world, that is the way they live. So they are living out of their animal-based level of life. They are not living as a human being yet. They have not gotten to that level yet. So most people just live like, I found myself here, so I'm alive. So I'm living. I'm doing everything else everybody is supposed to be doing. But there is no fulfillment. There is no purpose to life. Now, so what is the main thing that differentiates a personality from that kind of person that is living like that? A personality, on the other hand, has a purpose to life. A personality is always living for a purpose. There is a goal. A personality knows that he is here to fulfill a certain goal and purpose in life. So one of the ways for you to know if someone is a personality or a biomass is if he's living for purpose or not. If he has a goal, a purpose of his living, he's living for something, and it is that thing that determines the direction of his life on a daily basis. It is that purpose, that goal that he has that is leading him. Is that goal and that purpose that is making him to chart his path in life. It is that goal and purpose that is driving him. So he's not sitting there in place. He's not just saying, oh, I found myself alive, so I'm living now. That is why the parenting is very important. Parenting and parents are the first people to help a child to discover that life is for a purpose. That life is not just is a place where to survive. Life is not just a place where you try to make a living. Life is not just for you to try to survive and try to struggle and try to find yourself for the rest of your life until you die. Life is, parenting is supposed to give a child a sense of knowing that he was sent here for a purpose, and that his own very life is simply an instrument of fulfilling that purpose. He must be told, and he must be guided, and he must be helped to discover what his purpose in life is, or at least he must be set free to be able to quickly by himself beginning to look for his purpose in life and find that purpose, and so that the rest of his life he is fulfilling the heavenly agenda, he is fulfilling the heavenly passion and the intention in the heart of the Father for creating him in the first place. That is what he is living for. So he is not waiting for people, for the wind to blow to the left or to the right. He's not waiting to see what other people are doing. He knows that he was created for a purpose. He was sent here for an agenda, and that agenda he needs to discover it. Even if the parents did not succeed in giving him that agenda or in helping him to discover that agenda, but at least they help him to realize that he needs to find that his purpose. They help him to realize that he needs to find that his mission. So when he goes out of the family, he goes himself looking for that vision, looking for that purpose and the mission that he was created for. So he is aware what he's supposed to live for. He knows his first priority, that he first of all needs to discover himself. But unfortunately, a lot of parents don't parent like this. A lot of parents don't give their children this sense of purpose in life. They don't even tell them that they are here for anything. They don't even tell them that they were here for a purpose. So a lot of children are growing up around us, and they come out from their families not even knowing what they are here for. So they end up looking for a job. And to make it worse, even a lot of parents tell their children that the reason why they are here is to get a job. That the reason why they are here is to be able to go to school, study well, and get a good job. So they, prepare them to become slaves of Uncle Sam's system. So parents are even engineering this whole thing. Parents themselves are behind, captivating of their children, of enslavement of their children without even knowing, because that is what they were told and that is what they are telling their children. So they are helping their children to study well, to put more energy, to put in more force, more energy, to become better slave with better salary, better slave with better condition of living, but without discovering who they are. So a lot of parents even encourage their children to become the best slave they could become, to become the best servant they could become, without even letting them know that there is something that the creator of life gave to them when they were born, that they were sent from heaven for a specific goal and purpose that they are supposed to fulfill here. Maybe they are supposed to be an engineer, maybe they are supposed to be doctors, but there is a reason, for that profession, why you must become a doctor. Maybe you are supposed to be an engineer, but there must be a reason for it. Maybe you are supposed to be a computer expert, but there is a reason why he wants you to become like that. Maybe you are supposed to become a nurse, or there is a reason, but the reason will not be the same thing that your parents have told you, that the reason you are supposed to do this is for job, to survive and to get a good salary. These are all animal kind of instinct. Why is that an animalistic instinct? Because that is all when the primary goal for you doing what you are doing, for you working, for example, or going to get education or school, is for you to get better salary. That is talking about survival. So it means that the reason why you are doing what you are doing, and the reason why you are alive for you, is to make a living, is to survive. So you are living on the level of instinct. Who lives like that? Who lives for the purpose of survival? The people who are supposed to live for the purpose of survival are animals. They were given instinct for them to be able to survive. They were given instinct, and they were given reflexes, and they were given stimuli. So it is just able to function. These are the equipping, the elements that were given to animals to live by. That is not what humans are supposed to live by. But why is it that humans still have these things? Why do humans still have human beings, these instinctive things, animalistic elements of survival, instinct, stimuli, and reflexes? The reason why God still gave that to humans is, first of all, because humans also have body. So when everything else fails, when humans refuse to reason, when humans refuse to function, when humans don't have value system, when they don't have worldview, when they are not taught well, they at least still have something. They still have their instinct to fall back to. So instincts for humans are things that we fall back to. We fall back to instincts when we cannot function as humans. So instincts for humans is like a backup plan. It's like a backup program for keeping you alive. So instincts that are still in men are to just help them keep functioning, being alive. You not even being a fully human, but at least you could function. So instincts allow humans, first of all, to automatically survive. Because one of the instincts is hunger, for example. Because you are hungry, just like animals, you also want to eat. So that keeps you alive. So instincts and stimuli and reflexes keep you alive. They make you to just automatically function. But that is not the best of. So even though instincts help you to survive and helps you to keep on going, for example, hunger is an instinct. So that hunger keeps you alive, because if the hunger has not been given to man, if man has not been given the instinct to be hungry, some people will even forget to feed their body. It's just like today also now, a lot of people are still eating instinctively. What does that mean, eat instinctively? We just eat because we are hungry. We are not eating informally. What does that mean? If you are a human, you will eat as a human. That means that you eat what makes you healthy. You eat what strengthens your body. You eat what builds you up. But when you eat as an animal or instinctively, because you didn't use your mind at that time, you are not operating as a homo sapiens, you are not operating as a personality, you just feel like eating because you are hungry. So you eat anything and you bring into your body all kind of destruction. You eat dangerous food, you eat destructive food, and those food and things that you are eating, even though they keep you going, but you have not operated as a human, as a full human, and as a result, the thing you are eating is becoming a death trap for you without even you knowing it. Even though you are living for the meantime, you are still surviving now, and you are living well, you are eating, you don't even know anything is wrong, but you are still functioning, your body is functioning, but you are killing yourself because of the quality of food you are eating. But to be eating as what is the eating for Homo sapiens and eating for biomass? Biomass just eat because it's hungry, but personalities eat because they are informed what form of food is beneficial to their body and what sort of food are not beneficial to their body. What form of food is healing the body and what form of food is poisoning the body. Is informed. The difference is that a personality operates from his understanding, from his mind. So he first of all processes that hunger that he has, that desire to eat. He sets it in process of analysis. He analyzes it and discovers for himself what is better for him to use to eat and what is bad for him to eat, and so it becomes healthier. That is why the people who are wealthy, who are well-to-do, who are higher standard of living, they live longer because they are better informed and they eat well, they do everything well. So that is the instinct, for the survival instinct of food, for example, hunger. All right, now let's take another instinct that is common to man. Another instinct that is common to man and animal is the reproductive instinct. The sexual instinct. Now, why did God put that in? Like I said, why did God put the instincts in us, like in animals? The first one is that so that we will keep on alive. We will automatically, even if we don't want to be alive, we will automatically be alive because hunger helps us. Hunger pushes you to eat. So as long as you are eating, you are alive. Now, the same thing with reproductive instinct. So what is that reproductive instinct? The reproductive instinct is sexual instinct. Why did God give us that sexual instinct? Is because we are supposed to be functioning, not like, for example, for animals, sexual instinct is just anything they feel, they just feel it. Everything they feel like mating, or they see another animal, they just go and mate and have children automatically. So that is how animals have been able to keep on. They have not been extinct. They have been keeping on surviving, and because of that instinct, they just automatically go, and they don't need to plan for marriage, they don't need to plan for income, they don't need to plan for salary, they don't need to plan for car, they don't need to plan for house, they don't need to plan for furniture, they don't need to plan for apartment. Animals don't need all that, because they are not Homo sapiens, they are not humans, they are not operating from the superior nature which we have, but they don't have it. So they live and function only by instinct. So because animals live by instinct, they don't worry about anything. They just have children and keep on surviving. So why did God give them that instinct? So that they will keep on reproducing and they will keep on being here on the earth, just to live physically. That's all. Now, men also have that. Humans also have that. But we are not supposed to function from it. Even though we have the instinct, sexual instinct and reproductive instinct, but that is not supposed to be from. We are not supposed to be operating from the lower body instinct of just sleeping with everybody and having children everywhere like animals. Because we are higher, and because we have the mind, we have the superior component of us, which is the nature of God. Satan is really attacking this message. It keeps on freezing. But this message is so important that it's just a pity it keeps on freezing, because Satan doesn't want people to get it. Satan doesn't want people to get it. It's a pity, because it's so important that Satan is attacking this message like crazy. He doesn't want people to get it, because this is so important. Maybe less than 10% of the whole world know what I'm talking to you today about, and they don't even know. People are just functioning. People are just, living from the animal level of life. So anyway, so we have sexuality like animals, and we have instincts, reproductive instinct, sexual instinct. But why is it that we don't operate like them, like the animals? Because with the animals, like I just said, the way they operate, but because we have a higher composition, we have the nature of God in us, and because we have Homo sapiens, we are people who carry the nature of God. Thanks to that, we are not supposed to just fall back to the lowest instinctive living like animals, just mate and sleep around and have children and just sleep around and have children. Then it means we are not using our brain. It means that we are not using our thinking faculty. That is where we are supposed to be taking decisions from, and our sexuality is supposed to be based on the decisions we are taking. So so when it comes to marriage and sexuality, you are supposed to manage it just like you are managing your food. Just like what I said about food, you could just eat anything and you will get obesity, or you get cancer, you get sick, and you will die eventually of sickness, or you will be fighting one sickness to the other all your life because you are just eating fast food only. But because that is because you have not used your thinking faculty to overrule your instinctive faculty. So it's the same thing when it comes to sexuality. You are supposed to use your thinking faculty to rule and to manage your instinctive faculty. So what that does is that before you even begin to have sex, you are supposed to think it through, and you are supposed to know the purpose. Everything is supposed to be guided by goals and purpose on the earth. So you are supposed to know the purpose of that sex that you want to have. And before you even go and mate or meet with another woman, you must know, what do you want to offer this woman? What will happen tomorrow? What will happen 10 years time, 20 years time after you meet with this woman? How do you form a family with this woman? Do you have all it takes to provide for the upbringing of this woman, and for the care for our kids and for our children, and for the upbringing of those children? You are supposed to use your mind to answer critical and crucial questions as human. You are supposed to first of all process that. You are supposed to delay your gratification, delay your sexual urges, delay your sexual instinctive nature, and put your superior nature, the nature of God that is in you, the Homo sapiens nature that is in you, put it above the one of your animalistic nature, and you process everything here first. Then before you set out to begin to have to realize and fulfill your reproductive instinct, your sexuality. So everything in the animalistic instinct and in the animal nature of man is supposed to be subject. You are supposed to be subjecting all those things to you are supposed to subject your animalistic nature to your God nature first. You are supposed to put your God nature above all the animalistic nature. You are supposed to be processing everything. So that is one main thing that makes a human being, a personality, different from a biomass. But a biomass only marries. He's not processing anything. He's just marrying because he's seeing other people marrying, just like animals do. Animals see other animals and follow them. That's what they said. You don't be like a sheep, or don't be like a cattle. So, but that's what a lot of people do. They live like sheep, they live like cattle, they live like animals. They just say, okay, other people are marrying now. What age should they marry? Oh, they marry at the age of 20, 35, to 40. I'm already 40. I must marry. So they are not in charge of their lives. The community is in charge, the society is in charge, public opinion is in charge, the instinctive feelings of shame is in charge, the instinctive feeling of public opinion, what people will say, is in charge. So when public opinion is what makes you to take some decisions, you are living from your animalistic nature. When shame and the fear of consequences is why you are doing what you are doing, taking decision of what the decision you are taking, you are living from your animalistic nature. When it is, you are doing what you are doing because pressure is coming upon you, or because other people are doing it, you are living the animalistic nature. But that is not the nature a human is supposed to be living from. You as a human being, you are supposed to be living as Homo sapiens, as a thinking man, as a human that as a living soul, as the nature of God. That is the only thing that makes you to be superior to animals. So as being superior to animals, you therefore are supposed to be functioning from that level, from the level of understanding, from the level of information, from the level of processing, from the level of thinking faculty, from the level of value system, from the level of worldview, from the level of of godly nature, of imitation of God, from the level of reflection of God on the earth. Those are the things that are supposed to be determining and making you to function the way you are functioning on earth. Who have spoken so much? Let me take a break and see what you people are saying. Let me see how many of you are with me, and if what I'm saying is even clear to you or not, or I'm just talking science here, and you might not even be following me. Let me see if you are following me. Jide Craig said, I hear you loud and clear. Good. Monica said, Pastor Sunday, yes, I agree with you, sir. Some people just follow anything that other people are doing. They don't have their own mind. Yetunde said, oh, wow, they become follow. Wow, how sad. Deborah says, Dr. Adelaja, you are setting fire in our faculty to do. Now, you people are saying, some people are just follow, right? How many of you married because you didn't follow? How many of you married because you are Homo sapiens? Are you sure you really married because you knew what marriage was? Are you sure you are well informed when you married? So you are talking about other people who are following. What about yourself? Everything you have done so far in your own life, are you sure that you actually put them under the I'm sorry, guys. Sorry. I don't know. Internet it's like Satan is just attacking this particular message so bad. Satan is like, he's not happy with this message for sure. Internet just decided to mess up today in particular. I think we should all just go ahead and copy this message so that we'll be able to listen to it as much as possible. Because the more you listen to this message, the faster it will get to you. This is one of the most important preachings you will ever get in your life. And I so much wish that we could all go and make a copy and get a copy of this. And the way to do it, just share the message. Just share the message. Now, what I was saying was, a lot of you are saying, oh, wow, people just follow other people. A lot of people don't do their own thing, they just follow. What about you? Okay, many of you now are abroad, you are overseas, right? Are you sure you came overseas because you thought it through? Or because you are Homo sapiens? Are you sure you are doing the job you are doing right now because you are Homo sapiens, because it's an informed decision and because it's connected to your purpose or goals? Are you sure the children that you even have is because you thought it through and you have a purpose and reason for it and there is an explanation for it and everything like that? Are you sure even what you are doing right now, are you sure, it is easy for us to pass judgment upon the obvious ones, the things that are so clear. But how many percentage of your decisions, how many percentage of your actions are actually thought through like God's nature, like Homo sapiens, like an informed decision? How many of those things are informed decisions? Many of them, let me tell you, 80% of the things you have done in your life are all just an instinctive or stimulative something. Either you did it because you were stimulated by your friends, by your relatives, or you did it as a reflex of somebody, something did something, or it just as an instinct. Most of 80% of your decisions, I'm sure of that, is just animalistic decision. Because what I'm telling you right now, maybe not more than 10% of the whole world know it. And so 90% of the whole world is living like animals. They will not admit it. They don't know it. They don't even know it. And that is what is bad about it, because if you know something, at least you could begin to change it and fight against it. But when you don't know it, you don't even know you are doing something wrong. Monica said, oh my God, so all the men and even women that misbehave and have children around are behaving like animals. We do. Now, those are the obvious ones. Those are the glaring ones. Not just, okay, for example, you yourself, you are going to church tomorrow now. Why are you going to that church? Are you sure it's not because it's not from animalistic decision? I'm sure it's animalistic decision. You are going to church on Sunday. Why? Because it is Sunday. But it's not an informed decision. You are going to church tomorrow because if I don't come, pastor will say that. Is that not an animalistic decision? So it's not just people who sleep around. You know, you could be thinking of people who do some obviously wrong things and things that we could easily talk about. How many of your own decisions are thought through? Yesterday is saying, please, everybody, kindly go and share this message. Please share, family. Umkiru is saying, wow, it's so hot here. Gift says, we walk about everywhere with some animals in human form. That is why terrible things happen everywhere. Yeah, that is the obvious, the clear one, that terrible things happen, and that is animalistic nature. That is the glaring ones. But what about me? My subtle decisions that I do that is not bringing any evil to anybody, but that are also animalistic. Okay, even in your own house right now, when you just sit down and you just decided to be talking about something or talk on the phone or just do something, that is also animalistic when it's not purpose driven. What is the goal? When you ask yourself, why am I even doing this? What is it going to do for me? How much is this connected to my calling and purpose? What is the end result of this? You will discover that you've also been acting as animal. All of us, by the way, act as animals. All of us are living, most of us are living from the animal level of life. But when you know it, you could begin to fight against it and begin to bring it at least to 50-50 level, or at least to make it, the goal is to actually make it 80%. 80% to function as humans and only 20% animal level of functioning. Because that will still be there anyway. Because we still have that, because you want to relax sometimes, and it is the only thing to fall back on sometimes. Volvero said, this is so true, sir. Almost all parents are guilty of this. Most parents tell their children what to do in life. You must become a doctor and so on. And we do not have a medical doctor in this family. Gift says, when we are planning to raise up children, we should remember the worldview firstly discovered while you are bringing them into this world. Yes. I agree, Pastor, because we were told what to do. We did not find out by ourselves. We become relentlessly in knowing. Yeah, Gregory said, walk, eat, live luxury, and die. Yes, that's what people are doing. But you don't have to live like that. Paul David, grown-ups having babies call parents when you don't have goals, when you don't have a purpose, when your worldview is non-existent or flawed, or back at your children when they act like dogs. Don't be surprised. Neither should you blame society, because the responsibility is yours. Yeah. Linus says, personalities only live for something. Yes, they live for goals. They do everything for goals. Not just live for goals in the big sense, but everything is thought through. This animalistic life is so obvious in my country. Yes, 80% are living like that. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Living by default, not by design. Yeah, that's what Timothy says. Linus said, Dr. Adelaja, I only hear this kind of message from you. I never heard it from any pastor before. I am changing. Monica said, Pastor Sunday, I agree with you. We all have animalistic behavior. It is when we add value to ourselves, that is why we are fully human. I get you, sir. Yeah, you got it. Gift says, when someone is too materialistic, seeking only desires, that means it's animal. Yep. Niyo Lushola, irrespective of the high cognitive ability of animals, they cannot start a school for themselves, organize an election, participate in intelligent discussion, or invent anything. So, Nelly Brown, hope you understand. Oh, he's answering Nelly Brown. Olushe, you say, you hit the point, Pastor. Most minds are distorted by animalistic way of reasoning. But we should not be thinking about most mind. Why are you thinking about other people's mind? Think about yourself. Talk about yourself. We should be using these messages to measure ourselves. It should be yardstick for ourselves, not for other people. We shouldn't be, be giving pass mark or fail mark to other people, other individuals. We should be talking about ourselves. Gift Amos, you are right, sir. Since I was born, now I understand through this teaching, I have to try to work in church to enable me to function like God, but it was a mess. Now I understand that was animalistic behavior. Now I know Christians are in trouble for lack of sound teaching. Yep. Ufoma, the greatest discovery is the discovery of self and purpose. Thank you, Pastor, for helping me in this discovery. God bless you. Niyi said, though I'm not as informed as Dr. Adelaja, but relationship with God has helped me to discover purpose, and since 2008, I started living for purpose. Unfortunately, some people pity me because of living for purpose does not bring immediate gain. But in the real sense, I am the one concerned for them because they are slaving themselves away in jobs and not connected with their purpose. Knowledge is power. Thank you, Dr. Adelaja. I'm more convinced I'm in the right path. Yeah, we should be using these messages to judge ourselves, not to be judging other people. Deborah is saying, I'm biting all over my body right now. This is unbeatable teaching. It's getting deeper into my bones. Please, let's go and share the link. Let's go share the message, because this is the kind of message you want to keep for generations to come. This is the kind of message you want to keep for yourself and for your children. Noel said, the best has to happen to me is this message and this platform. It's made me to know I was empty and wicked when I thought I was good and smart. Adiola, I'm really speechless. If this kind of teaching has been taught from generations back, the story would have been different today. Omar said, this is my first time listening to you live. Thank God I'm listening to you this morning. Omar Alor said that. Gladys Nwosu, if Pastor Sunday continue like this, I don't think we need warm sweaters for this winter. It's already too hot. You know what, by the way, do you people notice that I am not paying too much attention to all the celebrations and the mood and the Christmas and the festivities? If you notice that I am not big on, on ceremonies and things like that. Yes, I recognize them, I celebrate sometimes, but I don't get carried away with Christmas, New Year, or things like that. Congratulations and all that. There is a reason for it, and maybe one day I could talk about what what holidays and vacations are supposed to be for, and not to live like every other person, because most people who are doing Christmas session and New Year is just animalistic expressions. Those are just animalistic responses. A lot of people who are doing they are carried away by, New Year, Christmas, birthday, this and that. It's just animalistic life, and it's important for you to know what to do during holidays and how to use that for your benefit, and how to use holidays. You must learn, you must subdue and subject holiday sessions and ceremonies and events like that. You must subject them to your goals and purposes. You must make sure that you function out of your understanding, not out of the mood in the country, not out of the celebrities and the boss in the country. Don't be under the culture. You must not allow yourself to come under the culture. That is what biomasses do. But when you are a human being, if you even take advantage of that culture, of that celebration or holiday, and use it for your own purpose. So all those happy birthday, happy Christmas, writing card from morning till night, and greeting people, talking for hours, and you are just wasting your life. You can celebrate a little bit, do a little bit what you need to do, but don't be under those. That is the same reason why I say we don't give gifts to our children on Christmas or on a birthday or New Year or things like that, because we don't want to come under the animalistic and control of life. Those are the system that the world system has put in place to make you people just be subjected to them, and you think you are living, you think you are enjoying. By the way, tomorrow evening and Sunday evening, I will be having my children with me. So my children will be here tomorrow evening to answer all the questions about children upbringing. So get ready. All my 3 children will be with me tomorrow night and Friday. Tomorrow is Saturday. Yeah, Saturday night and Friday night. Saturday night. Sunday night. So they will be able to answer your questions. So get ready. If you want, you can get your kids to also come and wash with you. Stella Nuhu, I never heard any message like this one, Pastor. I have taken all my life decisions based on what is obtainable in our everyday life. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That is the problem. Marianne Abba, true, time to fight big time. Yep. Ine Okeaya, she came late. That's a pity. Jide Craig, why are you going to church on Sunday? Why do you eat the way you do? Why are you getting married to that particular person? Why do you really want children? Is it from animalistic instinctive tendencies or from a purpose-driven informed decision? Wow, Dr. Adelaja, God bless you, sir. Yes, these are some of the things these are the measurements that makes you to know, are you living like an animal or you are living like a person? Monica said, Pastor Sunday, since we started listening to you, we are all changing day by day. Thank you, sir. Gladys Inshang, sir, you are teaching the truth, because if 80% was thinking or behaving like you are telling us, not like animals, this world would be a better place with less problem. The result of so much problem in society today is the animalistic behavior of human beings. Hard talk, more grace, sir. Esther Kuganja, Pastor, you are right. 80% of my decisions in life have been based on instincts, reflexes. Yes, I have been animal, I agree. Of course. Deborah, as a talk, that is not adding value to you. No, if you want to talk sense. Talk with people that, are leading you and helping you to go forward. Olukayode, the biggest problem is not having knowledge that we have problems. It's not knowing that we have problems. God is opening our eyes here. I was blind, now I see. Knowledge is power. Yep. Neki Okoro, I missed it at the early stage of my life. I was compelled by society, friends, family to study engineering, even though that wasn't my passion. I just went into my purpose at this later stage of my life. My desire is that my children do not make the same mistake I made. Thanks for this teaching, Pastor. Bolaji Martins, guilty as charged, and I'm taking a turning point. Beautiful. Molly says, there is still hope for repairs. Thank you, sir. Shinwe, you are right, Pastor. I raised my hand to be one of those people who are taking instinctive decisions, but I have been delivered by the exposure from your teachings. I am making progress. Thank God. S.C. Larry, all true knowledge comes from the Word of God. Our decision we make day in, day out should be directed by the Spirit of God. That's Larry saying that. Daniel Asenga, that's why I told someone here that I do associate myself with almost every message of Dr. Adelaja. Yeah, I'm glad he said, because everybody goes to church on Sunday just because everybody goes, that's why we go. Ascend big, I, Pastor, very deep. By the spirit of wisdom and revelation, I walk in the advice of God and I make good decisions. Moji Popola, your teaching has never disappointed me. I met you 12 years ago at Pastor Samadeyemi's church in Ohio. Wow! Oh, that's a long time ago. Your teachings have helped me reason well with better understanding and what I'm destined for in life. Yetunde, that was before Dr. Adelaja. Now I know better in me and I don't follow the crowd anymore. That is good, Yetunde. Shisanda, so true, sir. If you don't know it, you keep doing the wrong things. Animalistic or informed decision. We need to make a choice, huh? Deborah Cole said, Pastor, my skull don't open, my head don't break. Thank you so much for unveiling this topic. Timothy Jayoba said, we must learn to receive messages on this platform for ourselves. That's the best way to go, rather than applying it to other people. T.Y. said, it's a new dawn, Dr. Adelaja. We are being reawakened. Thank God there is hope for repairs. Jide Craig said, yes, Dr. Adelaja, I followed base instincts. I am now very awake and I'm discovering purpose on a daily basis. Today's message has settled and sorted out a major decision in my heart. Thank you, Dr. Adelaja. Deborah said, I agree, my mentor. Watch over and over again until my mind is informed. Yep. T.Y. said, I married in complete ignorance, Dr. Adelaja. Listening to you over time, I realized I had no business doing it in the first place. Ooh, wow. Obi Ojimadu, yes, Pastor, a human life lives with a purpose. Why biomass exists? Yeah, that's well said. That's so well captured. A human lives with a purpose. Why human exists only? Wow, that's well said. Sandra, Pastor, this message is timely and every soul got to listen to it. There are too many things going wrong in our lives and society, and no one is doing or saying anything. We thank God for you, sir. You are a blessing to us. And that's why I think that we all must share this message. If you have not shared the message yet, go under the video and click press the share button so that you could keep a copy of it for yourself. Ogene Tiger said, we must go from instinctive being to thinking being. Yes. Ngoya Sharis, Pastor, this is really interesting as it makes me think of something I recently heard the Muslim leader Zakir Naik say. He said during a conference that they were separating women from men. The women were sitting at the back, separated from men, who sat in the front by a long fence-like barrier, because it is the nature of men to be attracted to women, and whenever they see a female, they may think immorally about them as they can't control themselves. So they would have to look down and not at the woman if she was to stand before the man. Wow. Would this classify as that lowest level of operating as a human? Does this mean with that attitude they do not embrace and cultivate the nature of God in them? Yeah, you are right. What she's saying is true. What the man is saying is absolutely true. But, they want to control it from the physical, while they are supposed to control it from inside. It's a value system and attitudinal change that is needed. And they want to use just physical looking to change it. TY say, Dr. Adelaja, you are just blazing. Monica, yes, I agree with you. So some people, okay, we don't want to talk about some people anymore. Pro David, I live every day as an international celebration of life and death, and these are gifts that are worth celebrating. So I love giving gifts because it transmits message. Not all gifts are materials. Thank you for the illumination. Siblings, celebrate Christmas with your children involving the celebrant Jesus. No, I think we should give gifts. I think we should give gifts, even physical, material gifts. But I was just talking about raising up children. You don't want your children to be demanding from you, later on. But, if you are gifting gifts, make sure that you are doing it for a purpose and with a purpose, with intention. It has to be intentional. Oh, yeah, we should all do gifts. Gifts is one of the best ways to show love. There's no doubt about it. But I'm just talking about children as to parenting. That you don't want your children to hold you hostage through, say, oh, you didn't give me gift this Christmas, or this is my birthday, you didn't do this and that. TY, actually, it's almost scary how awesome we potentially can become from this new information downloaded into us, becoming more and more like God's original intent for us as we are being taught by you daily, my mentor. Mashu Esam, thank you, Pastor, for daily transforming my life. God bless you, sir. Thank you. Shigo, Pastor, you always rewire my brain. Ankiru. TY, I feel you. Going for spa tomorrow with my mentees. We create celebrations when needed, once in a while. You see, but you see what she's doing? She's going to the spa with her mentees to celebrate New Year and Christmas, but with a purpose, you see. So everything is done intentionally. She's taking not just herself, but she's taking her mentees with her. So the problem is not with celebration or holidays, but don't fall under the mass psychosis of the masses, of everybody else. Use it for your own purpose. Use it to your own advantage. So Christmas season, New Year season, take a hold of it. Become the Lord of it. So like what she's doing now, she's taking her mentees out. Beautiful stuff. So you are using it for your own advantage. What I believe that should be done during time of Christmas or any holiday whatsoever is, it's celebration time, but first of all, celebrate yourself. Celebrate your relationship with God. Then celebrate your vision. Use that time to strengthen yourself, either by solitude or by studying or by growing. Or use that time to strengthen your vision, either by planning or thinking or developing people or organizing a program for yourself and for your disciples or for your followers. Use, the holiday time for purpose rather than just for noise making like most people do. TY, Dr. Adelaja, thank you. You have been really helping us to be better people. It's like a whole new world. God keep you for us, sir. Amen. Bukola, Pastor, I have lived like an animal all my life, but I have been listening to preachers like Joyce Meyer that teach you don't do things because of emotions and only by decisions. Do you? But unfortunately, people think you are crazy with your decisions and what you do because it's not the norm. Kate says, this message is making me to reflect on my life. This message is on point. Thank you, sir, for revealing the truth to me. I have always prayed to God for my children not to make the same mistake I made. More grace to you, sir. Shioma, Pastor, listening to you every day is changing the way I think and my worldview, and sadly, a lot of people do not understand me any longer. Because you are coming out of the biomass club. TY, yes, now people can form me. I'm always very real with Dr. Adelaja. I love him to bits, but I'm honest. So you people, I like presents. Oh, okay. Deborah, I can't wait to hear from Perezo and Pro. You guys wait until you hear wisdom from Pastor's children tomorrow. Christine Gaga Aretano, this platform is very awesome. Noel Okoshuku, I will continue to celebrate people. You do things based on quality purpose, even if it's groundnut, pepper, tomato you are selling to give meaning to people's life. Beautiful. Shioma, thank you, Pastor, for clearing this Christmas issue. I thought I was abnormal for not being overly excited. Yeah, it's not, it's not, it's not purposeful. It's just being animalistic. And people are doing it year in, year out. Nothing changes in their lives. Sandra, your messages are daily transforming my life, Pastor. All these teachings are great deliverance. God bless you, sir. It will be explosive to have your children. Oh, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, they will be here tomorrow and day after tomorrow. Oh, by the way, do you people realize that I decided to release a book as a Christmas present, Christmas gift to all of you guys? New Year gift, but it's not just a gift like things like gift. It's a book that I've written insulted by ungodliness, thinking, living for a purpose, raising up a generation of the provoked. So that book is a New Year gift that every one of you need to get as fast as possible. And I would really advise you to read that book before New Year. If you read that book before the New Year, you'll be able to set the pace for your life for the New Year coming. You can download the electronic form of the book and, put your life in order and start life all afresh. Shiga said, listening to you is always a time to look into the mirror, digging out and uprooting as much of the animalistic control as possible. Gladys, what about New Year night in the church? Because they say it's good to start New Year in the house of God. We do New Year in the church as well. But if you are doing it just because they say, that is animalistic. Although you could still be blessed as a result. But you must know why you are doing it, why it is, and you must be convinced about it. So, we do New Year season in the church, and we convince people, and people see the result, and we explain to them why it is supposed to be with God. Not just because somebody said it. Gift Amos, this message sounds abusive, but it's eye-opening. I said it knowing Dr. Adelaja was the best thing I've ever have. This is my destiny helper. God, I thank you. I'm going to invest my money in buying all his books. TY said, Dr. Adelaja, I like celebrations, so even if they don't have, I create one for myself. Yeah, that is purposeful. That is nice. That is what you have to do. It's purposeful celebration, but not just animalistic like every other person without knowing the reason why. Deborah is saying, your focus is transforming lives, which is better than living on just any house. Every day is seasonal and should be used judiciously. Yep. Monica said, I agree with you, sir. My behavior sometimes, okay, no problem. Fumi Jaboda, this biomass thing, wow, still can't get over how Dr. Adelaja disseminated this. It's mind-blogging. Yeah, the book is called Insulted by Ungodliness. Yep. Anastasia said, I'm canceling my Biomass Club subscription. Cancelled. Gladys says, thank you, sir, because listening to you has opened a big door for my life. I will never live the same way I used to. We always gather together once a while to make a revision about your books we read. How we are blessed and what to change in our life is a joy upon joy. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. All right, everybody. Someone is asking for the name of the book. The book is called Insulted by Ungodliness. Pastor Kemi Onadikpe said, good one, Pastor Sunday Adelaja. I only hear this from my husband, Apostle Yomi. My husband and I purposefully train our children to live a life of purpose, not to follow crowd or live an animalistic life. Hence, our children stand out anywhere they go. Wow. Measuring our lives as parents, we are doing well to the glory of God. My children will be glad to join the platform tomorrow to hear your children too. Many incur debt celebrating Christmas, which is crazy. Many incur debt celebrating Christmas, which is crazy. Thanks for telling us. The message today is really great. Well done, sir. More grace. Yep. Thank you so very much, everyone. Thank you for everything. We'll see you tonight. I'll be back with you tonight to continue the message. God bless you. Have a wonderful day. Bye.